Good morning, guys. Today we are going to hopefully finish up with our stippling drawing. So last time we faded from our darkest value into our lightest value. Again, that's the trickier part of the drawing and probably took a decent amount of time. The last thing we got to do is put in our shadow. So I went back to the pencil and really take a look at how light is interacting with your object. You might need to change the light source to get a shadow that you like. And lightly draw that in pencil. Okay. Now, one thing that we really got to be careful with is to make sure that the shadow doesn't blend in to the bottom of the object. So you can see how dark the bottom of the object is. Obviously, the shadow is going to be pretty dark too, and we don't want this to just become one big shape at the bottom. So again, we're going to put in what we did when we practiced with the sphere, something called reflected light. So there should be a thin white line, or an empty line in our case, in between the stippling of the shadow and that dark stippling on the bottom edge of your object. So what I like to do is I'll come through and I'll stipple right up next to my object, making sure that I'm leaving that little white gap. And I can always come back and make it smaller if need be. All the way across, okay? So I bring that all the way across. Then in my case, the shadow does get a little bit lighter as it gets further away from the object because my light source is kind of coming down this direction, okay? So I'm gonna make it darker here and then gradually fade lighter. Now it's not gonna get that light, it's gonna be nowhere near as light as the lightest parts of your object. So the next thing I'll do is whatever that lightest area is, excuse me, I'm gonna fill in the whole shadow with however light I think it should get. Okay, so maybe something like that, probably a little bit darker. I'll fill in the whole shadow area. Then I'll go back up to, next up to the object, make that darker. And just like what we did before, we're gonna gradually fade that out. Except this fade is not gonna fade quite as quickly. Again, it's gonna stay pretty dark because it is a shadow. Okay? So I'll do that across the entire shadow area. Once you get completely done, I'm gonna erase over the top so I can get rid of all my pencil lines. Sign your name real fancy like in the bottom right-hand corner. Take a photo and turn that in as your final drawing. Any questions, make sure you guys send me an email and I will talk to you guys next time. Have fun.